Chain store sales in the U.S. this past week continued their wobbly January trend. From 1 year ago, same-store sales at the chains rose almost 2%, but fell from the previous week by 2.5%. ICSC is looking for January to conclude somewhere between flat and up 1% at the chains. Diamond Trading Company held its January sight this past week, and our Avi Krawitz is here to report on observations from Sightholders.
Thanks, Jeff. The market for rough diamonds was extremely active in January, at least compared with 2009, with strong demand coming from manufacturers who seem to be somewhat accepting of the price increases implemented. The DTC site closed with an estimated value of $550 million, while earlier in the month Alrosa reported that it sold more than $300 million worth. If this trend continues, this puts the two companies on track to supply more than $2.5 billion worth of rough combined in the first quarter, and many buyers are hoping the influx of goods will bring some stability to the market and fill the shortages reported. Remember that inventories at the counter fell throughout last year, so demand for rough is being fueled by prospective replenishments. More than that, however, cutters still attribute their hunger for rough and the shortages to the lack of manufacturing that took place during the economic downturn. This strong demand brought further price increases during January, with DTC prices up about 3% on average and BHP bulletin prices rising between 7 and 10%. While cutters bemoaned the high rough prices and their low profit margins that result, they didn't have too many complaints this time given the demand. Sightholders in fact said they expected further increases in February. Few, if any, said they foresee the rough market softening anytime soon. Back to you in New York.
Thanks, Avi. A rather telling survey from Consumer Reports found that shoppers in the U.S. overspent their gift budgets for Christmas 2009, and by quite a bit too. Pre-Christmas gift budgets averaged $699 per household, but in measuring what consumers actually spent, Consumer Reports found the average household dropped $811 on gifts, and nearly half those surveyed charged it, with that group spending more than the average. Most consumers did plan to pay off the debt by this point in time, but 1 in 5 were going to push it off until March. What will it take to move a true spending recovery at the retail counter? Well, strong consumer confidence, and we aren't there yet. But the confidence index did improve somewhat in January. Let's look at the numbers. January's reading of 55.9 points is the highest since September 2008, but still below the benchmark of 100 points. Consumers told the conference board they are not optimistic about their present situation, with that index registering 25 points in January after hitting a historic low of 20 points in December. Consumers' expectation index stood at 76.5 points. That was the highest since October 2007 and represents a more optimistic long-term outlook. To keep these numbers climbing, though, the job market in the U.S. must experience swift and definitive improvement, and consumers need to feel that their incomes are beating inflation. Here is a look at how precious metals prices fared this week. For all the latest industry news, please visit diamonds.net.